In a detailed examination of key Social Security mandates and their implications for individuals across the United States, it is essential to highlight the structured requirements imposed by the system while acknowledging the specific exceptions that apply to certain groups, as outlined in recent discussions on the USA Secure Benefits channel, where experts provide in-depth guidance on navigating these complex policies to ensure retirees and workers maximize their entitlements without unnecessary hardships. The first critical obligation under Social Security involves the payment of FICA taxes, which represent the payroll contributions funding the program, with most Americans required to contribute 6.2% for Social Security and an additional 1.45% for Medicare on their earnings, matched by employers unless the individual is self-employed, in which case they bear the full burden, though a cap exists at $18,500 for the current year, meaning earnings above this threshold cease to incur Social Security taxes while Medicare contributions continue indefinitely, creating a disparity where high earners effectively pay a lower proportional rate, such as an estimated 0.23% for those making $5 million compared to the full rate on every dollar for someone earning $50,000 annually, underscoring a historical anomaly in the system's design that persists despite calls for reform. Yet for the vast majority viewing resources like those on USA Secure Benefits, this tax remains mandatory throughout the year on all qualifying income, with only about 3% of the population exempt, including certain state, city, county government workers such as police officers, firefighters, and teachers who participate in alternative pension systems instead, a setup addressed by the Social Security Fairness Act, which some critics label as the Social Security Unfairness Act for granting what they perceive as disproportionate benefits, thereby illustrating that while FICA payments are broadly enforced, targeted exemptions highlight the nuances individuals must understand to avoid overpayment or misconceptions about their obligations. Moving to the second mandate, deemed filing rules compel applicants to simultaneously pursue multiple benefit types under specific circumstances, ensuring comprehensive claims but potentially complicating strategic planning for recipients. For instance, when seeking spousal benefits from a current or divorced spouse, one must first file for benefits on their own work record, a change solidified in 2016 that eliminated prior strategies like file and suspend, though an exception applies to surviving spouse benefits, allowing claimants to access those without immediately claiming their own retirement benefits, which can be a prudent approach for optimizing lifetime payouts, as frequently emphasized in educational content on platforms like USA Secure Benefits, where viewers are encouraged to review personal scenarios for tailored advice. Additionally, if filing for one's own benefits while a spouse or ex-spouse is already receiving payments, the system requires concurrent application for those spousal entitlements, even if the individual prefers to delay for higher amounts up to 50% at full retirement age. And although Social Security offices sometimes overlook this requirement, leading to later retroactive adjustments that reduce benefits, the increasing reliance on automated processes and AI in administration may heighten such oversights in the future, thus advising caution and proactive knowledge among claimants to align with these enforced filing protocols and prevent unintended financial setbacks. The third requirement pertains to Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, a program distinct from traditional Social Security as it draws from general tax revenues rather than the dedicated trust fund, administered by the Social Security Administration since the early 1970s to support low-income, low-resource individuals who are disabled or aged 65 and older, with maximum benefits capped at $994 for 2026, clarifying common misunderstandings where people conflate higher payments from other sources with SSI. And crucially, if eligible for SSI, recipients are mandated to apply for any other available benefits, such as surviving spouse payments starting at age 60 or retirement benefits at 62, overriding personal preferences to delay for larger amounts in hopes of eventually exiting needs-based assistance, as failure to comply results in termination of SSI support, a policy designed to minimize reliance on welfare funds by prioritizing other entitlements, and this enforcement underscores the importance of accurate program differentiation, as highlighted in ongoing dialogues on USA Secure Benefits, where community members share experiences to help others avoid pitfalls in blending SSI with broader Social Security strategies. Fourth on the list of mandates is enrollment in Medicare Part A, the hospital insurance component typically provided at no premium to those with sufficient work history, generally 10 years of Medicare tax payments, and once Social Security benefits commence at age 65 or after 2 years on disability, automatic sign-up for Part A occurs without the option to refuse, contrasting with Part B outpatient coverage, which individuals can decline if they have credible alternative insurance from current employment with 20 or more employees, though doing so incurs lifelong penalties upon later enrollment, and veterans relying on VA services are cautioned against foregoing Part B due to potential gaps in coverage. Yet an exception exists for the rare cases, less than 0.1%, where Part A requires payment, around $400 monthly for the uninsured, allowing those individuals to opt out entirely, reinforcing that while Part A is compulsory for most to ensure baseline healthcare access, understanding one's insured status is vital, as frequently discussed in comprehensive reviews on USA Secure Benefits, to empower informed decisions amid these healthcare intersections with retirement planning. Finally, the fifth and perhaps most pervasive mandate is the implicit requirement for individuals to navigate the Social Security system largely independently, given the limited guidance provided by the administration on maximizing benefits amidst over 20,000 pages of policy, where claimants must arrive at offices or online portals as experts in their own rights, knowing precisely what to request to secure all eligible entitlements, such as checking earnings records for gap years, applying deemed filing correctly, distinguishing independently entitled divorced spouse benefits, or choosing between retirement, survivor, or disability options. A shift exacerbated by past policy changes, like the discontinuation of break-even analyses that once helped compare early versus delayed claiming, now deemed akin to financial advice, and thus prohibited for employees to offer, leaving many at risk of suboptimal outcomes without external resources, which is why channels like USA Secure Benefits exist to fill this gap through nearly 2,000 videos and daily live sessions, fostering a supportive community that assists in demystifying these complexities until personal circumstances, such as family obligations, necessitate pauses, yet emphasizing that no one is truly alone with access to such collective expertise. Transitioning to real-world applications and viewer interactions, as seen in live Q&A segments on USA Secure Benefits, one notable success story involves an individual who appealed their income-related monthly adjustment amount, or IRMAA, surcharge on Medicare premiums, reducing it from approximately $645 to $22.90 effective back to 2022 after submitting Form SSA 44 for a life-changing event like work cessation, which offset prior high earnings from 2 years earlier, often stemming from asset sales or retirement withdrawals, demonstrating the value of persistent appeals when disagreeing with decisions, with detailed guides available on associated sites like migovexpert.com outlining the process, and while exceptions like the $25,000 single or $5,000 married exclusion for home sale capital gains exist under tax rules, Social Security still counts excesses toward IRMAA without congressional carve-outs, prompting calls for reform to prevent temporary income spikes from inflating premiums unjustly for a year. Furthermore, community reminders on USA Secure Benefits stress exploring Medicare savings programs, such as Qualified Medicare Beneficiary, or QMB, along with variants like QMB Plus, QI, and SLMB, administered through state Medicaid offices under various names, which can cover the standard $22.90 Part B premium for low-income qualifiers, including those on SSI, thereby alleviating financial strains and adding disposable income, with eligibility checks encouraged for anyone struggling, as tens of thousands may qualify unknowingly, aligning with the channel's mission to promote godsend supports that enhance quality of life. In broader context, discussions on USA Secure benefits often circle back to systemic issues like the impending depletion of the Social Security Trust Fund in roughly 85 months, projecting a 23% benefit cut absent reforms, such as lifting the wage cap to equalize contributions from high earners who already pay uncapped Medicare taxes, a disparity that fuels inequities where millionaires contribute proportionally less to Social Security despite historical rationales no longer holding relevance, and visual aids like shared slides in workplaces spark conversations to advocate for changes, ensuring fairness across income levels. Additional insights from USA Secure benefits address distinctions between working rich who pay some taxes and those living off investments who minimize liabilities, a topic revisited in prior content, while urging viewers to comment on personal cases for customized feedback, whether new to the channel or returning, especially on strategies like early surviving spouse claims without own record filing or navigating deemed filing oversights amid staffing shortages and AI integration at Social Security offices. Emphasizing appeals as a standard response to unfavorable rulings, as echoed by community members, reinforces empowerment through knowledge, with examples like IRMAA reductions showcasing tangible wins from following structured processes, and while home sales trigger IRMAA without exceptions beyond basic exclusions, awareness prevents surprises, aligning with the channel's educational ethos. Moreover, for veterans contemplating VA exclusivity over Part B, USA Secure benefits cautions on potential coverage limitations, advising consultation to weigh risks, just as it differentiates SSI's welfare nature from payroll-funded Social Security, correcting misconceptions on payment amounts and mandating other benefit pursuits to preserve eligibility. In sum, these mandates, FICA payments with caps and exemptions for select government roles, deemed filing to bundle applications except for survivors, SSI requirements to claim alternatives, compulsory Part A for insured individuals, and self-reliant navigation amid vast policies, form the backbone of Social Security compliance, yet with exceptions underscoring the need for vigilance, as promoted through daily engagements on USA Secure benefits, where live Q&As tackle appeals, savings programs, and reform ideas, fostering an informed populace ready to optimize outcomes without undue difficulty. And as conversations evolve, including fun AI explorations in upcoming sessions, the commitment remains to demystify complexities until breaks are needed, ensuring no viewer faces the system alone. Delving deeper into the FICA tax structure, it's worth reiterating that for the average worker, this 6.2% deduction applies relentlessly on all earnings up to the $18,400 limit, translating to consistent contributions year-round, unlike high earners whose obligations taper off, resulting in stark effective rate differences that question equity, especially when Medicare lacks such a ceiling, a point often debated in USA Secure benefits forums as a pathway to solvency without broad cuts, and exemptions for 3% in public service roles like educators and first responders highlight regional variations, with the Fairness Act attempting corrections but drawing criticism for perceived imbalances, advising all to verify their status to comply accurately. On deemed filing, the post-2016 landscape demands simultaneous claims for spousal and own benefits, barring survivors, a rule that can retroactively adjust payments if missed, as shared in viewer stories on USA Secure benefits, where strategies for delaying to full retirement age are weighed against enforcement risks, particularly with AI-driven processing on the horizon potentially amplifying errors, thus counseling proactive applications to secure intended amounts. For SSI, the $994 cap for 2026 dispels inflated claim myths, and the mandate to pursue other eligibles like early retirement or survivor benefits at 60 or 62 prioritizes fiscal efficiency over individual delay preferences, with non-compliance risking cutoff. A harsh but clear policy explained in depth on USA Secure benefits to guide low-income navigators. Medicare. Part A's automatic enrollment upon benefits start at 65, free for most but payable for the uninsured minority who can then decline, contrasts voluntary Part B with its penalties, and USA Secure Benefits urges veterans to consider integration for comprehensive protection, emphasizing informed choices. The self-expertise mandate, born from policy volume and advice restrictions like halted break-even analyses, leaves claimants vulnerable without resources, but USA Secure Benefits counters with extensive video libraries and community support, covering topics from earnings gaps to benefit type selections, ensuring maximization through shared knowledge. Viewer appeals, like IRMAA reversals via life-changing event forms, exemplify persistence paying off, reducing premiums dramatically when high prior incomes from work or sales no longer apply, though home profit excesses lack full exemptions, prompting advocacy for legislative fixes as discussed on USA Secure Benefits. Medicare savings initiatives via state programs offer premium relief, putting money back in pockets for qualifiers, a boon amplified by channel awareness campaigns. Trust fund concerns, with 85 checks until potential cuts, fuel cap lift proposals for fairness, mirroring Medicare's model, and workplace discussions sparked by visuals from USA Secure Benefits advance public discourse. Tax nuances between earned and investment income reiterate systemic biases, with prior channel talks providing context. Invitations for case reviews in comments foster personalization, especially for newcomers on survivor strategies or filing intricacies. Appeal mantras from the community underline disagreement resolutions, with structured guides aiding processes. While one-time events like sales trigger IRMAA, knowledge mitigates impacts, aligning with USA Secure Benefits' mission. SSI clarifications prevent confusion, mandating benefit integration. Overall, these elements weave a tapestry of mandatory compliance tempered by exceptions, empowered by education from USA Secure Benefits, where daily Q&As and future AI fun blend serious guidance with engagement, supporting retirees indefinitely.